Former President Jacob Zuma's corruption trial is at a crossroads today. Will his appeal succeed against a previous ruling keeping veteran prosecutor Billy Downer in the long-standing arms deals case? Zuma insists Downer is not independent and impartial. We're due to hear a fresh ruling from the Pietermaritzburg High Court Judge Pete Koen at around 10 o'clock this morning. But as Sipamandla Goge reports, that judgment may well be a short one. He's live with us now ahead of the proceedings. Sipa, we're expecting this court appearance to be quite brief, or this sitting of court to be quite brief. And as a result, it seems the former president won't be attending court today.
That's our understanding indeed, that the former president won't be physically in court. It's not surprising. Judge Pete Koen on the 31st of January did say there is no need for all parties to send through full delegations or representatives. They can send in just one person to note the judgment. So even from the former president's legal team, we don't expect that the senior counsels will be here. Just very few people, one or two from the instructing attorneys who will come and note the judgment. If and when Judge Pete Koen decides to give full reasons, we expect that at least that might take less than an hour. However, if he decides just to hand down the judgment, it will be few minutes, and then he can send the full judgment with the reasons later to all parties, including the defense and the state. But with me, I'm with Mzwanele Manye, who speaks on behalf of the Jacob Zuma Foundation. Babu Manye, thank you very much for your time. The former president is not coming based on your tweet.
Yeah, no, president is not going to come as per the arrangement with the court even previously. So indeed, the two lawyers are here to note the judgment, and I'm here to give initial responses to the judgment.
How is the former president doing today?
I beg your pardon?
How is the former president doing ahead of this judgment?
Yeah, no, President Zuma is always a hopeful person, and he's sitting and waiting for this judgment. We hope that what we're going to have here today, because President Zuma, a prisoner of the Constitutional Court, continues also to be a prisoner of hope, that today we hope that the law of South Africa will be applied and not the Zuma law. If the law of South Africa is applied, we should be able to be victorious in this case here today, because indeed the arguments that were raised by His Excellency President Zuma's legal team were very sound, and that another court can arrive at a different decision.
There are always two possibilities here, successful, unsuccessful. If you are unsuccessful, will you go to the Supreme Court of Appeal to petition them, but will you go all the way to the Constitutional Court?
There is no end of this earth that His Excellency President Zuma won't go to achieve justice. We know that justice is a very elusive term in South Africa, but we're hoping for the best. But indeed, whichever way things go, we'll be moving forward to achieve justice. If we lose, we'll proceed. If we're victorious, because the important thing here is that what President Zuma really wants is to deal with his case. The state should stop stopping President Zuma from dealing with the main case.
They say you are to blame with the former President Jacob Zuma.
It's easy for the state to call President Zuma's bluff off. I mean, it's a simple thing. Just remove Downer. If you remove Downer today, for instance, then the 11th of April, the trial date is set. But if they continue to stick with Downer, it means we're going to be in this mud for some time to come. So the state is the one that is employing Stalingrad tactics.
If we do not get underway on the 11th of April with the trial, will that not make former President Jacob Zuma feel bad in a way? He's been saying he wants to have this matter resolved once and for all.
Indeed, it will be a travesty of justice, because President Zuma wants to put this matter behind him. The sooner the state removes the hurdles for the 11th of April to happen, the better. I mean, the simple thing is the state saying there is no other person in the NPA that can prosecute this case. Why should President Zuma endure being prosecuted by a criminal suspect? I mean,
but the court has said, Mr. Manye, that all the allegations that have been made against Advocate Billy Downer, they are hearsay, they are rumors, there is no evidence, there are no basis to remove him from prosecuting this trial.
This is why we're here today, because we're contesting that contention of the court. Because if you look at the arguments that the legal team of President Zuma raised, including the misinterpretation of SCA judgments and so on by this court, are the things that we're saying should not go unchallenged. So indeed, we contest that position. That's what you are saying the court is saying, but we've got a different view, and we think that with information put in front of the court, another court might find differently.
Thank you very much for your time. Mzwanele Manye speaks on behalf of the Jacob Zuma Foundation. He says they are hopeful, but should they be unsuccessful, well, they will go all the way, giving an indication that the former president's legal team will seriously consider petitioning the Supreme Court of Appeal and going all the way to the Constitutional Court if he loses his application to have that judgment by Pete Koon or Judge Pete Koon basically to grant him leave to appeal that judgment whereby he dismissed his initial application to have Billy Downer removed. I'm going to ask my colleague Joe Komane, I know we are out of time, but just to show you visuals of those who are coming in court to support the former president who's not here. I see Super Zuma, who's the former provincial secretary of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. He is a member of the Zuma family. These are members of the Zuma family, of course, a staunch ally and support. I also see Carl Niehaus here, who is one of the staunch allies and supporters of former President Jacob Zuma. There are few family members who are here to support the former president. Of course, there are others who are here outside court precinct. Not too much of security this time around. It's been downscaled, but deployment plans are in place to ensure that for any eventuality, we do not expect too many supporters of the former president to come to court today.
Yeah, thank you, Asipa. Hearing that many roads around the High Court in Pietermaritzburg have been closed just in case there is a need to deploy security or law enforcement. Thank you very much, Asipa Mandla Koke at the Pietermaritzburg High Court.